Hello, I'm Chris Ferris with the Plano ISD Athletic Office. I'm here with Coach Johnny Ringo of the Plano East Panthers. I want to thank Reggie Pugh for the camera work here and getting this on for us. And Coach, hey, what a great way to start the season, 35-20 victory against the Garland Owls. And Coach, what stands out on that first victory for you guys?
I think, that they were a two-round playoff team last year, Chris, and, so we knew we had a great opponent coming in, a great challenge ahead of us, and, unknown for us because we had only returning 15 lettermen and about 5 starters from last year's team, and so a lot of young kids that we thought could play, could come in and do some great things for us. But still, you never know until you actually get a chance to play that first game. And we'd done a decent job against Hebron in our scrimmage, but still those unknowns exist. I think for every coach in the state of Texas that first week and first game. But just really, proud of our kids and coaches. We got down 13-0 obviously early, and it didn't look good. And I'm sure people were thinking, oh my gosh, but we kind of had a little barrage of points there, and some things go our way, in every area of the game, offense, defense, and special teams, and we're able to be up 28-13 at half, and then go on to win 35-20, like you said. So, just a great team victory. One that really we saw our kids, as I said, respond well to adversity. Our coaches also with adjustments, and just really proud of all of our kids and coaches.
Well, you bet. And Coach, you mentioned, I know you guys and everybody else after the start there, down 13-0, but just showed great resiliency and resiliency right away. I know you and I had talked a little bit after the scrimmage against Hebron, and you had mentioned how the guys had really bounced back from maybe not playing as well as you felt like you could to start that scrimmage, and a little bit of the same thing, although it was just a few minutes of the first half, really, until the guys really got going. What do you think, speaks to that I know you guys go over that all the time, practice, and you talk with them and this and that. What do you think the spark was that kind of jump-started things?
Well, we always, one of our goals is always to start fast, and obviously in the scrimmage against Hebron we didn't do that, and we finished strong, like you said, in the game portion of it, and the same thing kind of held true the other night against Garland. And I think for us, just when we started last November, this process of getting ready for this season through off-season, spring ball, boot camp, our summer training, Chris, that really just feel like that we've tried to address everything from A to Z. And that doesn't mean you win every game you play if you do that, but really try to leave no stone unturned. It's how we can get our kids in position from a conditioning standpoint, a toughness standpoint. When we started August the 13th, those are all things that we addressed with them. And so we really just had a theme of trying to outwork Garland, going into that first ball game and be in better shape, better condition, and be the more physical team. Now, don't know if we were that, because they were very physical. They did a good job running the football against us, and had some moments that they did some great things, and they're a really good football team, I think. But I think that we can attribute it to that. I just feel like we outworked those guys, or I won't say, can't speak to how they worked in practice, but for us, I know we worked really hard, and the conditioning part of it, we've done a lot of that in the past, but not as much as we did this year. Just felt like if we could get to the fourth quarter and work to be the strongest team, then we'd be in position to win the game, which is the way it turned out.
Well, and I think you hit on something there. I know in the fourth quarter that the guys did look good. Looked like a lot of times that first ball game you see a lot of guys going down with cramps, what have you. Maybe some mistakes laid, and I think certainly to your ball club's credit, you guys really played well in the fourth quarter, and I wouldn't say you didn't play well, to start the ball game, but certainly a great ball game, great way to start, and I think you guys can certainly hang your hat on the way you started here this first ball game. Any offensive highlights that stand out? I know we're going to watch some highlights here in a minute, but offensive players or defensive players that really stood out. I know you had some new guys coming in, had some of the older guys still here, and anybody you want to just touch base on?
Well, we didn't have any snaps offensively. We basically, there was times we scored pretty quick, or had some moments there after a turnover that they may have had that we kind of, tried to hit them quick or strike early, and we did. And but I think, we were very pleased with Mario Smalls, the quarterback. The way he threw the ball the other night. Colin Shaw was our leading receiver from a year ago, coming back, and he had 9 catches for 198 yards and 3 touchdowns. And so, he's just a tremendous playmaker and a tremendous receiver and a tremendous kid. He's on our East One council, and so those guys, and we had new guys in the offensive line. Ricky Ladanya, running back's going to be a good one. And we were missing some guys. Cody Verholz was out, and some other starters defensively. So to have missing those 4 starters and being able to come out and still play as well as we did against a great program like Garland, really speaks well of our kids again. But offensively, those were the guys. Defensively, we saw some young guys step in and do well. Jackson Gary Young, he's our returning tackler from a year ago, did a good job inside, moving inside to inside backer. But Austin Corbett true sophomore, had an interception in the game. Landis Durham, true sophomore, started at defensive end, did a great job. He was just 14 years old the other night. He turned 15 on Friday, so I'm thinking we got a 14-year-old playing defensive end against the mighty Garland Owls. But just overall, really, special teams, every area. Jamil Hampton was able to get on the scoop and score after the block of their field goal by Nimoy Tennyson. And, I think we just had a lot of things go our way. And, a lot of people that watch that game might say, obviously, as I said, Garland's got a very good team. We just said the breaks went our way the other night. But I think also you make your own breaks, through practice and preparation and talking about that mental and physical toughness like we try to talk about with our kids all the time.
Well, I think you guys certainly showed that you do have a good team, and I know that we'll look forward to continuing to watch that each and every week. We spoke a little bit about some of those highlights. Why don't we watch some of those now?
This is here, us in our normal 3-4 alignment. Jackson Gary, you see inside backer here, leading tackle from a year ago, and the outside linebacker moved him to inside backer, but a great leader on our team. Tremendous character, what an awesome kid, one of the highest ranked kids in his class. Ricky Deladanya, this is a guy, all of our backs were JV backs last year. He's our only senior, but that's the type of, run game we want to have, powerful downhill running game, and great blocks there by offensive line and both our other backs, Anthony Mariello and Lionel Wills. Good job here by Sheffield, and we had some great stops defensively for our guys, and that was DeMonte Sheffield from his outside linebacker position. Huge stops defensively during the course of the game. And here we've got Colin Shaw on his touchdown receptions from Mario Smalls. Again, he was a leading receiver last year and just brings a lot to us offensively, 6'2", 195, and just a tremendous football player. Again, Ricky Eladanya, just our outside zone basically here, and quarterback's got an option to read that backside, but that was a give read all the way, and just a great job by him. Again, great job by offensive line. A lot of new guys starting there as well, some juniors for us, so did a good job. Devin Tanner here from his corner position coming up. Their quarterback had a lot of speed. They had a lot of speed across the board, every position. It was really scary at times with those guys that go to the distance any time. So, again, defense did an awesome job. Had some great stops during the course of the game, critical stops. Play action fake here. Earl Smalls, this is Colin Shaw just on the little corner route. He does a great job setting up receivers and the routes they run, the way he turns those guys around, and find out a better route runner than one of the best I've been associated with quite some time. This is the sophomore linebacker, Austin. Oh, let me see. That wasn't him. That was another interception that we had here. Oh, that is Austin Corbett. I'm sorry. He's a sophomore linebacker inside of the interception he had. Would be a really good player for us. This type of swarm, we won't get a lot of people to the ball. You can see they're tough to bring down. They called him down here. We felt like we had to fumble. Let a lot of folks get into the ball there. Okay, a little double reverse flea flicker pass here, and hopefully if it works out just like this is the way it should work. We get a guy behind the secondary and kind of fool them a little bit, and that was one of the keys. So just the quick strike scores we had were huge for us. Here we'd already blocked an extra point earlier in the evening, and same guy, Nimoy Tennyson. And just a great way it turned out. He blocks it, and it goes right in the hands of Jamil Hampton, who returns it for a touchdown. And so we've named that block after Nimoy. His name is attached to it now. Last year it was Bassett, who was playing college ball at Harding. So another little reverse and fake, and just it's coming to the back out of the backfield here. Just a lot of things we try to set up, and the confusion part of it. So all in all, a good ball game by our kids.
Well, a lot of nice highlights. It's always fun to have a lot of highlights to go through and look at for the last week. And as you move on this week, you've got Naaman Forest coming up Friday night over at Naaman Forest. Coach, talk a little bit about Naaman and how you guys will prepare for the first road game of the year.
Yeah, it'll be the first of three. So we got 3 weeks in a row we're on the road, and so kind of an interesting schedule this year for us. Last week playing on Thursday, one of the first games in the area to kick off the season. But Naaman's got a talented ball club, played Rockwall Heath really well last week, and came up a little shy as far as the points go, but returned some good players, a quarterback and running back, got a wide receiver that's really talented, Chris, and a D lineman that for them that all are mentioned in Texas Football Magazine. So, they're coached by Sam McElroy. Sam was out at Texas Tech, and before that was a head coach at Tarleton. So, new staff, and they're really well coached, and we feel like it'll be a great challenge. our goal with our kids in our program each week is just to look at each opponent as they're the same, in our eyes. There's no difference as far as what their win-loss record is or what they've done before in past years. We try to approach each game as if we're playing the #1 team in the state of Texas, and we feel like we can do that, then we'll be where we need to be as a team and play well. And so, our coaches this week, we pushed our kids really hard yesterday in practice on Monday, and we just need to try to do the same all this week and continue to, not allow them to let up. Realize they got a chance here, to have an opportunity for a second win, and if we play well. And obviously we're excited about our first win, against Garland, and that's huge. You can't win them all unless you win your first one. So we've told our kids, but it's no easy road. We've got some great opponents coming up, and then obviously our district's very tough. So excited about it. We'll go to Williams Stadium. We've been there before, had success there. It's where we played them last year. But again, they've got a good football team. We got to be ready to go.
Well, it's going to be fun to get back again next week and talk about it again too, Coach. And remember, Panther Nation, that's at Williams Stadium Friday night as Plano East takes on Naaman Forest, 7:30. See you there.